Welcome to Computrol. Whether you're flying an F-35 fighter jet or performing life-critical operations using an MRI scanner, the one thing you cannot afford is for it to fail.
Really, the benefits of Computrol are that we are much more than just a contract manufacturer. Most contract manufacturers, they focus on building boards, and building boards is important. That's what we do. We build boards, we make them high quality, we deliver them on time, but really what we provide to the customer are solutions to their problems.
At Computrol, we take quality and reliability very seriously. Our state-of-the-art facilities offer more than 100,000 square feet of manufacturing excellence. We take great care to hire the best team of talented engineers. At Computrol, we offer the quality and resources of a big company with the level of customer service you expect from a small company. Our expertise at supply chain management starts at incoming QA. There, parts are inspected for quality, packaging, and the manufacturer's part number. PCBs are inspected for hole counts, board size, thickness, layer count, and solder samples are tested.
Every part that comes into the factory is important. Without good material coming in, we can't put good parts out the door. So, every part that comes in gets some level of verification. Depending on the complexity of the part, that verification changes, but every part gets looked at so that we know that we have the right material on the shelf to build quality product.
Computrol also has a robust counterfeit protection program. Components are not only sourced from franchise distributors. On occasions where we have to source outside of these suppliers, after we receive written approval from our customer, an extensive set of inspection criteria is implemented by our inspection teams who are certified in counterfeit detection by Black Box. An essential tool in counterfeit component detection is to measure the metallurgic composition on the component leads using our XRF system. The technology in our XRF system verifies component composition and compliance to the RoHS directive. At Computrol, new board designs are pre-checked on our Valor DFM software. Valor is used extensively throughout the factory to provide online documentation, routing enforcement, SPC data collection, and test and repair data collection.
Using the Valor DFM, DFT tools, we can take their design, we can run it through those tools, and we can give them instant feedback about, is this a good design? What should we change? What would make it more manufacturable? Or what would make it more testable? And we can do that before we ever build the first board.
Computrol assembles a wide range of lead-free and tin lead products in both of our state-of-the-art factories. Lead-free areas are denoted by green-based workbenches, selective soldering systems, and inspection areas. Our sites have the same level of high-quality production equipment that is specifically tailored to meet the demands of today's small to medium volume, high-mix environment. This includes accurate placement of components down to 0201 and 01005. We regularly place all forms of BGA, flip chip, and package-on-package devices. Many high-reliability boards require cleaning, and Computrol uses batch deflexors for removing RMA flexes and inline cleaning systems for maximum efficiency. We also offer conformal coating and potting capabilities. Great care is taken to ensure that no defective boards leave our factory. Our manual inspection teams are highly experienced at visually identifying defects or poorly soldered components. Our automated inspection capabilities include AOI in production and ICT functional test, boundary scan, XRF, and X-ray in post-production. Computrol also offers flying probe testing of finished assemblies. Final board assemblies are commonly provided directly to the end user for installation at another site, but in many cases they are fitted into a box or system assembly at Computrol. We have vast experience of working with all types of cases, racks, and housings, whether they are manufactured from aluminum sheet metal or a plastic molding process. We can provide wire harnesses in any configuration. The harnesses can be provided as bare looms or wrapped in a variety of protective casings and shieldings. The terminations at the end of each cable can be crimped or soldered into a wide variety of standard or custom connectors. In some assemblies, small manufactured parts are needed on short notice. At Computrol, we have our own in-house machine shop with full capabilities to engineer small brackets and parts from bespoke casings to extrusions. The machine shop also performs tooling for press-fit connectors, heat sinks, and other custom-engineered works.
The main benefit of Computrol is our ability to work with you to resolve an issue. If you've got a problem, we're going to help you solve it. We're not going to just turn it back to you, whether it's a material sourcing or a production issue, a test fixture problem. We're going to work with you and be part of the solution.
Computrol has an IPC J standard qualified instructor in each plant to ensure ongoing training of its employees and to keep the company fully up to date with the latest assembly standards. Where appropriate, the trainers will work with customers to train them on the latest IPC standards and work practices. At Computrol, we specialize in low to medium volume, highly complex boards at a fair and competitive price. Computrol is ITAR registered, ISO 9001, 13485 medical, and AS 9100 Mil-Aero qualified at both of our sites. Whether you're defending our nation, saving our sick and elderly, or providing high-quality industrial automation products, Computrol is your reliability partner.
As you noticed, throughout the video, the name Valor came up, a few times, and that's testimony to how integral the software is to our strategy. So, in the picture that you see on the screen here, you can see a small sample of some of the products we are involved in producing for many OEM customers, like Johnson & Johnson, Toshiba, L3Harris, Micron here locally in the Boise area, and Swisslog, to name a few. Our OEM customers are being served from two plants, one in the Boise, Idaho area, which is where I'm located, and the other one is in the Denver, Colorado area. So the Valor solution is viewed as a cornerstone for achieving our strategy. A quick overview of our facilities. In terms of square footage, we have over 100,000 square foot between the two facilities. We have well over 350 employees total, and we have 5 SMT lines in Idaho and 2 in Colorado. So, okay, fast forward. In 2007 was when the Valor solution was actually chosen to be implemented at Computrol. At that time, we were faced with many challenges, trying to achieve competitive and sustainable growth rates. We realized the need for a robust system that not only could meet our immediate challenges, but also could be expandable to address future needs. As you can see, the tasks that we viewed as challenges way back in 2007 were mostly time-consuming tasks that basically got in the way of Computrol achieving acceptable growth rates. So some of those challenges were, work instructions were being created manually and distributed to the manufacturing floor on paper, which proved to be very ineffective and time-consuming and could easily get lost, or a wrong revision could end up being on the floor. DFM activities were done mainly by viewing Gerber data and trying to make the most sense out of it. Production and inspection systems were in silos and not communicating with one another. So results of inspection could never be fed back timely enough for production to make the necessary adjustments to make continuous improvements. Our new product introduction cycle times were definitely not meeting our goals because of how time consuming all of the prep work was. And the fact that we live in a high mix world, compounded the problem because all of the above activities needed to be done, many times over and over for many different products. So we carefully evaluated few systems, and we were, happy to engage with Valor. So since the initial deployment of the Valor solution in 2007, several add-ons and expansions have been incorporated successfully. So today we are heavy users of Valor NPI. It is used to provide our customers with DFX analysis and reports prior to product releases. Gaining our customer trust in this area has allowed us to play an active role in their design reviews in some cases, well before the product is actually launched. Many of our customers do not have the necessary staff or tools to perform extensive DFM reviews, and that's where we can help them. Customers also don't know what our manufacturing constraints are. So even if they had the capabilities to perform their own DFM reviews, it would be difficult for them to be constantly up to speed on what our constraints may be, because those constraints can change over time as we add new equipment and new technologies. So it makes sense for us to provide that service to the customer. When you are entrenched in the customer's design review cycles, it really enhances your position to win new business from that customer. The Valor process preparation basically is the only source of truth for manufacturing collateral. Bills of materials, CAD data, machine recipes, test and inspection recipes, as well as build instructions are all contained and revision controlled within Valor process preparation. All of this information is delivered digitally to the shop floor, so there is no need for paper management at all. And all the necessary shop floor information comes from one central database, and that really eliminates the possibility for any data conflicts. In the past, when the different work centers were siloed, every work center was self-sufficient, and every work center tried to generate their own collateral, and in some cases did not use the same base information, so there would be opportunities for data conflicts. Okay. The quality management system is the system that we use to track quality status of assemblies or top-level assemblies, box builds. Every product that we build is serialized, and it goes through the quality management system at the time the work order is released, and the quality data for that serial number is maintained forever. So we always know the history of the product, which steps it went through, which equipment it went through, and what the inspection status at various points were. If any repairs were made, we can view what those were. The Ops Center Execution Electronics IoT is something we recently added towards the end of last year and continue to grow in that regards. IoT is a platform that interfaces directly with shop floor equipment and collects real-time data on equipment performance and materials being used as the process is running. And then the last but not least, the business intelligence is a platform we have been using extensively for our quality reporting and analytics, and as well as root cause analysis. So, all right. So now that brings us to 2020. We have over time since 2007 resolved many business challenges, and today we are faced with new challenges that are different from what we faced in 2007. Today's challenges are no longer emphasized by capacity issues, but they are more driven towards quality and compliance, which is high demand, for our customers. They demand high levels of quality, and we build, as you have seen throughout the video, we build mission critical systems that must have high reliability, and many activities that happen on the shop floor efficiently and accurately are needed in order to support these requirements. With the help of the Siemens solution, we are able to address and meet those challenges. So some of the challenges we are dealing with today is the need for building product right the first time, every time. As you know, in a high mix, low to mid volume environment, there is not a lot of window for perfecting the process. The process must be perfected before the product is actually released. So what is required to achieve that on the production floor is precise, detailed, and uniform documentation, along with accurate machine recipes that can run without any engineering debug time during the production cycle. Revision control is critical. Verifying that you are using the correct components, which is what is spec'd by the customer's approved manufacturers list, is needed. The correct production supplies. When you are a contract manufacturer, you receive specifications from your customer that require you to use certain fluxes or certain solder pastes or certain chemistries. And before too long, you find yourself keeping in your inventory, 5 to 10 different types of solder paste. You find that you're keeping 5 to 10 different types of fluxes. Well, how do you make sure that you are not making a mistake and using the wrong chemistry on the wrong product? All of these controls are needed, and it's very, very hard to control those in a manual fashion. A system is really needed to make sure that the supplies you are using are of the correct type. Last but not least, along the way, you are learning from your first run and your second run and your third run without having an effective closed loop feedback system that will enhance your recipes and that will enhance your processes in real time. You're not taking full advantage of the lessons learned. So in order to remain competitive, we have chosen to focus on our NPI readiness, because our time to market, or our customers' time to market, is very critical. More often than none, by the time the customer releases the product for NPI, they have already faced, design delays. We have already faced material procurement delays because of material allocation or lack of availability in the market. So when the product hits the production floor, most of the time it's already late, and you cannot afford any more delays for the production cycle. So being NPI ready is very critical. Preparing the material for the production floor accurately and correctly is extremely critical, so that not a lot of time is being wasted in setup and getting the process dialed in, up and ready. Many customers in the mission critical areas such as aerospace, defense, and medical, require that you can show proof of compliance, whether it's a process compliance, quality compliance, or material being used compliance. So change management is something that is, we pay a lot of attention to, because our customers' needs are extremely volatile and extremely dynamic. Many of you who are involved in contract manufacturing know what it feels like to receive a design change notice from your customer while you are in the middle of producing that product, and how challenging implementing those changes can be. Our core philosophy is that we practice continuous improvement in all aspects of our business. So the system that we need to deploy in our production and manufacturing must also be flexible enough to support continuous improvement execution. Okay, so currently we are deploying Valor IoT for the purpose of material management, material verification, and material traceability. Going on to the next step of factory digitalization, that's what we are currently involved in, and that's what we're currently executing. Because of the trust in our partnership with Siemens and in the software we have used since 2007, we have decided to continue our digitalization journey by building on the foundations we laid back in 2007. So that is the main, reasons we continue to grow and expand our capability and reliance on the Valor/Siemens software. We, I believe, are the first US-based contract manufacturer to deploy the entire Valor system end-to-end. We are also a beta reference, so we are always happy to share our experience with others, just like we are today. So when the opportunity came about for me to share our journey with a wide audience, I'm happy to do so. Some of the high-level things that do stand out in the results we have achieved from process preparation. We have reduced our NPI readiness from 1 week to 1 day, which is pretty phenomenal. We can receive a manufacturing package from a customer today, and we can be production ready tomorrow. Documentation synchronization is another great benefit that we have realized. We have a single point of manufacturing collateral, which we know is the current and most recent and accurate revision. Change order implementation has been reduced from 2 days to 2 hours, and this enables us to actually execute ECOs while we are in the middle of a production run. The paperless document delivery, even though that seems like a trivial task, being able to deliver documentation online versus on paper, that translates into a large number of dollars being saved throughout the year, whether it's money being spent on producing documents, or money being spent by personnel who is spending a lot of time producing documents. Now we just finish the manufacturing collateral, we hit publish, and all the terminals throughout both factories are able to access the production documentation in real time. The Valor process preparation helps us achieve and sustain better than 99.5% first pass yield in our factory. On the shop floor side of things, the Valor quality management system, the TAR station, which is test, analysis, and repair, it has helped us reduce our debug and repair time by 40 to 80%, depending on the complexity of the product. And through routing enforcement, we are able to achieve and sustain below 100 defects per million components in our factory. Now, that is for a low volume, high mix place. That is actually not an easy thing to achieve. And with the Valor BI system, we are able to achieve real factory visibility. It's really hard for me to put a dollar amount on that, but what that really facilitates for us in terms of being able to resolve bottlenecks quickly. We are able to see if certain defects are occurring frequently in the factory, on the shop floor, on certain lines, on certain machines. being able to do root cause analysis because of how the data is, available to us in the Valor BI in real time. We are able to achieve, quick resolutions on production and process issues. So overall, we have realized more than $500,000 in annual savings since 2007. And we have been able to accomplish that through improved quality, labor savings, and increased production output. Okay, so on the digitalization side, before the product is actually launched, we are able to do the process simulation to make sure that the parts and the boards match one another. It helps us avoid unnecessary long line stoppage. There is nothing worse than discovering that the board layout for a certain component doesn't match the chosen component. The last place you want to find that out is on the production floor. So with the digitalization tools, we're able to avoid those issues, which allows us to increase our throughput and achieve higher machine utilization. More benefits that we are realizing and hope to continue to realize from digitalization is the availability of data that we can provide for material genealogy of products, for lot traceability. We're able to show complete process history and give our customers an objective evidence that we have, part and process compliance. Not that long ago, a customer had question about a specific serial number, whether it was at a certain stage, baked between 8 to 16 hours or not. We were able to pull the process data and show that for this serial number, this was the time it was put in the bake oven, this is the time it was removed from the bake oven. So this is really vital information to help you provide objective evidence of compliance. The Valor IoT system is really the main highway to Industry 4.0. With the amount of data that is, the amount and type of data that is being collected, it allows, for AI and machine learning and additional data analytics, big data analytics to be possible. That's something that I couldn't, back in 2007, I didn't even dream that, such data would be available at my fingertips for analytics. Also, it allows, different platforms to connect seamlessly. So where we're at today is we are deploying the Valor IoT, as I mentioned. We have set our goal to reduce kitting time from 3 hours down to 1 hour. And as I mentioned, we have deployed one pilot line successfully. And for that line, we have been able to hit our target of less than 1 hour of kitting time. Improving inventory turns by 50% is a goal of ours. Because we are a low volume type industry manufacturer, it is really hard to go through a lot of inventory fast. When you buy a reel of 5,000 or 10,000 components and you need it for low volume, it takes a long time to burn through that material. So with the help of the material management system, we hope we are targeting 50% improvement in our inventory turn. Of course, material traceability and compliance by being able to do material verification from the time it actually arrives all the way to the time it's loaded on the machine and onto the boards. Eliminating loading errors, of course, is another feature of the setup. And real-time performance to resolve bottlenecks quickly. So overall, Valor IoT, based on our calculations, when it's fully deployed, it will provide 1 million annually in ROI, and we are achieving that by inventory turnover improvements, savings on labor, increased asset utilization, and the automation of data collection and reporting. So we are working towards being fully deployed in the second half of 2020 and the first half of 2021. I have a dashboard from Valor IoT to share with you, and I will try to go to the live data. Hopefully the line will cooperate with me and I can show you what's going on. So earlier in the day, the line was running, looks like it's winding down. On this line, we run a lot of high mix, low volume types, so there is a lot of changeovers, but this is real life data. We can see what the line is doing. We can see the performance, how much the line was being utilized versus how much it was stopped. You're able to view where your pickup errors at a glance. So if there's a feeder or a nozzle or a certain machine malfunction, you can see what that is. You can see the defects history coming from the AOI machine by defect name and by quantity. So you can focus on resolving issues very quickly. Here you can look at your line performance, or you can look at overall utilization or components per hour being placed at different, by hour. This is at 10 o'clock, we had over 4,000 components. And as the line is this order is winding down in the 11 o'clock hour. It is 11:35 my time, just in case you're wondering. So this live dashboard is something you can view from any web browser. You don't need a specific application. You only need to be able to access the network. So when I'm home and I'm bored at night, I can pull up my iPad and see what this line is performing or not performing, and I can have discussions with the night shift personnel about what we need to do. So it's in the old days, I would have to get in the car and come in if there is a problem. Now, if there is a problem, I can see it before they call me. So okay, so that's the live dashboard. As a backup, in case we weren't able to access the dashboard. So some of the lessons learned we have over the years is that I want to share a few things with you, is that the cheapest solution is not always the best. When searching for a MES solution, make sure you search hard and align whatever solution you choose with your corporate philosophy and quality policy. And when a system is chosen, be careful to choose real champions from all levels of the organization that will actually help you get through the implementation and deployment. Because human nature, it's to resist change. And if you don't have buy-in, I have seen over the years many other companies try to adopt a new system and not be successful because of a lot of resistance, at different levels. Top management must be committed to the change and must drive the change and not wait for the people to adopt on their own. Basically, some encouragement and coaching is needed. Another thing that I have learned is that over the years, when people are implementing a new system, they try to force it to look and feel like the old one because they are attached to the old system. I think you will be better served if you are open to taking full advantage of the features of the new system. And when we opened our hearts and minds to taking full advantage of the new features of the system, we were able to realize, more benefits. So some of the challenges we are faced today were basically unplanned. I'll be lying to you if I tell you that 10 years ago I was planning for working around a pandemic. But since the COVID-19, hit us unexpectedly, we were faced with new challenges. We had, a high rate of absences that forced us to even be more agile and that forced us to look for ways to be able to do more with less resources. And, I will show how the Valor system helped us in some cases. As you know, with social distancing and many people being out of the plant, we had to collaborate and work in ways that we haven't done before. I'm happy to report that many of our front end and engineering people were able to work from home as directed by the CDC. they were able to still utilize the Valor system over web connections and do the necessary work, whether it be documentation creation, machine recipe creation, all of the necessary needed collateral by the floor was being done remotely. So those people haven't been, as of today, they haven't been even coming to the building. Quality reports via the web app have been performing very well, and I'm able to access them from anywhere where I have internet connection. NPI projects require team collaboration, and with process preparation, people are able to collaborate on certain projects and share and divide the workload accordingly. And all of this allowed us to reduce our on-site staff and bring only the necessary personnel to the building. Without the ability to use the Valor software remotely, this would have been very difficult. So I want to just some parting comments. Our quality policy is as follows. We shall be a company of superior standards in all areas. We comply with regulatory and customer requirements. We constantly work towards improvements in our service, product, and process by giving our employees a vested interest in promoting the excellence of the company. The MES system we have chosen has been a great supporter of our quality policy.